everyone. Welcome to another great episode on For the Greater Good podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Uzumako or Jacko.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode on our podcast here. I am your other co-host, Chanel Dubic. Welcome to our second March episode.
Yes. What tea are we drinking today? Peppermint?
You're having peppermint. I'm having some raspberry.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers. Absolutely. Yes. So,
Oh gosh. We are middle of March, okay?
we have March.
Yes. So before we get into the episode, please be sure to subscribe where you can find us. We can find us on Instagram at For the Greater Good Pod. That's Chanel with I. And you can also find us on Spotify and Amazon Music. Also be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, For the Greater Good Pod -s.u. Be sure to tune in every other Wednesday for new episodes. And yes.
Please do. Share it with somebody that you care about. Share it with somebody that you love, or something funny that we might have said or that resonates with you so deeply that you want to share that with someone. So absolutely, we appreciate you for that.
Thanks. It's okay. But yeah, on this episode, we are, as you mentioned, in the middle of March, and we are trying to ask ourselves, okay, now that March has gone, like, now what? The episode is titled "Now What? No Shame, No Pressure."
None. We asked ourselves all these amazing one thing questions in our last episode, and we definitely know, because we feel it and we're humans too.
Yes.
So we know that you get to this point of the year and you have so much pressure on yourselves that your vision board has not been accomplished, you've not gone to the gym on time, you're questioning your mornings, you've not maintained the routines that you wanted to, and you are stressing about you not being a good person, or you not feeling like you're going anywhere, you're accomplishing anything at all. That is not true. There's no shame in any of that. So now that we have asked some of these one things and we want to reset, we want to rebalance, what do we do with that?
So it's going to take us to the where something new begins, where motivation usually ends.
Yeah.
What was your thought process behind that?
Well, I was thinking, now that we've answered, we know some old things are not working. We've answered the one thing questions. Motivation has ended. Motivation has disappeared. The gym memberships are still going. The plannings are still there. Well, what do we do with it? How can we ask ourselves and commit something newly to ourselves to say, well, I'm going to now do this. I'm not motivated anymore, but I'm still committed to the journey. I still want to do something. I still want to see that goal happen. What can I do now? Where can I continue?
What is there to consider from that place?
I would say that we can consider that we still love ourselves.
Yeah. Of course, the self-love still exists.
Yes, it still exists. There can be humility. We can have grace.
Yeah.
And to strongly consider that the road has not ended. That we still have the chance to regroup and to try to accomplish that same thing from a different perspective. So how can you begin again?
I like that. I really do like that. Because I think too, it's almost like we kind of just don't know, like you mentioned, like, okay, where do we go from here? So I really like that we are brainstorming this and we're having this, like, we're opening up the conversation to our audience and to you all and to even ourselves too. Like, okay, are we asking ourselves, like, where do we go from here?
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Yeah.
I know.
I think some other things to consider in addition to self-love is how far we even have come too. Because
I like that.
even if it's like baby steps, at least it's still progress.
100.
So
and we usually don't acknowledge that. We just see that we still have this much ahead of us to go, but not acknowledging in truth and honesty that we have really come a long way. I feel so many of my friends, quite a bit of my friends always tell me that, just be kind to yourself, Chanel. You've come a long way. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I don't see it. But when you really measure and you look at where you were and what you did set out for yourself to accomplish, we have indeed come long ways.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. Even though I mentioned in the last episode how I felt like I haven't accomplished anything on my vision board, actually, in now looking at it from that mindset, it's like, actually, I have. I did say, for example, one of the things I wanted to do was to get outside more. I have been outside. Like I have
Good.
actually been outside. I've been running a lot.
Yeah.
I definitely was doing that in January, like getting out even though it was cold and dark. I tried and I was like, okay, I'm waiting for the time for daylight savings.
Daylight savings.
Because sometimes it's like you're running outside and it's like it's dark.
Yeah.
It's dark.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been outside getting some sunshine when the sun decides to come out again. And I've made steps towards like a career change and like following some passions there and staying open and staying curious. So it may not look like it, like you just said, but actually when you really, really look at it and like take a step back, it's like, wait, I've actually have made some
Yeah,
progress.
I
So
know.
yeah.
And I think it gives us a repurposed joy to that journey, and just the ownership that this was mine. I
Yeah.
have made progress. It's not shattering progress, but I am getting somewhere. And I can be very excited about that.
Yeah.
And that little spark of motivation is sometimes all we need to be like, okay, how can I keep going? How can I keep pushing through?
Mm-hmm.
And to look at. So ask yourself, where are you right now? And how, if you wish to redefine where you go from there, what you can consider from the place that you are at right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And can or should we redefine our progress and what that can newly look like moving forward?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think we can redefine our progress. Adding from the first question,
Yeah.
we
I
can
know.
really just say that I'll just speak from my perspective. For a personal goal is that I want to meditate more. I want to spend more time with self, reading my Bible, reading the books that I have. What can I redefine as that? In the last episode, I talked about just 5 minutes. If
Mm-hmm.
I were to truly just spend just 5 minutes per day committed towards these individually, independently, I am now reshaping the way that I can look at progress, because I can say, all right, 5 minutes. If I set a 5 minute timer and 5 minutes go off and I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go. At least I gave that 5 minutes and I
It's
was
true.
honorable to that. So at least I committed. If I were to say, well, we normally are not very successful at making it to the gym in the morning on time. Well, what if we can do at least 3 days a week? And can we aim for that? And if I make 3 days a week, then that was successful. If I
Mm-hmm.
did 2 days a week, that is more than half. So I can see that as a new measure of progress and say, okay, well, I'm happy that I'm moving forward, because
Mm-hmm.
it looks like I'm increasing daily my tolerance for that new goal. And I'm not just saying I'm going 10 minutes to read or
Mm-hmm.
to pray or to meditate. I'm saying let's start with five and let's get there.
Right.
Let's start with 3 days and let's see if we can get to 5 days in a
Right.
month from now. So I feel like it is just reassessing and putting new metrics of measurement and what I feel like my current tolerance can get me,
Mm-hmm.
and feel that, all right, we can get there. So now that we can prove that we can get there, why can we increase that to 4 days, 15 minutes, 10
Mm-hmm.
minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? Could you
Okay.
redefine progress?
Could I redefine? Yeah, I think one thing I can take a look at is micro goals
Okay. Yeah.
and seeing maybe at the end of the day, okay, what's something I am proud of that I did today?
Yeah.
It could be just something so like simple as that. I think would be how I would redefine progress. Like taking a step back and looking at it at a big perspective, but looking at those little mini like micro goals. Like okay, like just something simple as what you just said. Like okay, I know that I haven't been as consistent in the gym, but I'm proud of myself today. I chose and I got up to go.
Yeah.
Just some
Exactly.
little things like that. I think that's progress. It's like it's still a day where I decided to make that like mindset shift,
Yes.
and I did it.
And that is so important, that mindset part of it,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what motivates, control,
Mm-hmm.
or destroys everything else,
Yeah.
is that mindset place. That's why in our previous episode I said the brain, because it just controls everything. And I just wish I had better control of it controlling me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with you on that.
You had better control of it controlling you.
Yeah. versus controlling me.
Controlling you.
Yes. Yeah. I suppose that makes sense. I wish I had better control of it controlling me. So then that way I control it so it controls me differently. Because there's always that brain output. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It is certainly most often if I haven't fed it the good enough controls or the right words, what it says is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Versus me stopping it and saying that's not what I'm gonna do. But it becomes so automatic after so long of it doing what it wants. I do what it says.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Crazy. I suppose we have one thing question in here. What is one thing that we not need to improve right now? Only continue. But again, it's from the same place of know what. So what is one thing we don't need to improve right now to only continue? I like that question for a few reasons.
Honestly, I think it's just to keep moving forward. Like no matter what, just keep going.
Yeah.
I think sometimes when we feel like we're not accomplishing the things that we said we were going to accomplish, we now, and like of course, like as we're doing like reflecting and everything, but then I guess for me, sometimes I'll take a pause and then I will feel like I'm behind. But I think no matter what, just constantly reminding myself, okay, I may feel overwhelmed right now, but I'm going to keep going because either way, I'm making progress. And then each day I can just take a look at like the simple steps that I've taken.
I like that. Absolutely. I would add yours in here, but I would like to say my excitement. I do not want to stop being excited. I think if I stop being excited and I forgot why I initially created, developed, planned, got an interest in something, then I think I take away my interest in wanting to do it. So if I feel like the excitement, that initial excitement as to why I signed up for it in the first place continues, then I think that the potential of getting that to completion will always be there. I'll always keep it in memory. I'll always keep it alive. So I think I like to continue my excitement of starting. Yeah.
Okay. Excitement. Yeah. I think it's always good to keep that spark. And just because then it's like you do get tired easily.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. Something to look forward to, something to stay motivated by.
Yeah. So what does your now what look like right now?
Well, now what, Chanel?
Now what?
Yes.
We're here.
Yeah.
Now what?
Now what? Are we gonna get up at 5 in the morning and work out? Are we going to commit time? My now what? Am I going to keep my word? It's like, now what? What are you going to do? I'm right here in front of you. Are you going to get up? Are you going to go work out? Are you going to go sit at your desk? Are you going to keep your phone away from the room? I want to have all of these promises constantly address me every single moment I'm about to make the wrong decision and say, well, now what? You promised to do that. Keep the phone out of your desk. Get up at 6 or get up at 5 because I can't. 6 o'clock is not going to work to go work out and start work on time. But I want to be my know what to look like, always being reminded of the promises I made, like from at least most of those from a previous episode, to keep my word to myself. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right.
What would your now what look like?
Well, my now what looks like, okay, I'm here, it's the middle of March, and I'm just checking with myself mentally, just like, okay, how am I feeling right now about all this?
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. I think that's what my now what is looking like right now. Like, okay, this is where I'm at with work. This is where I'm at with my career, the progress that I'm making towards like the change. This is where I'm at from a health perspective. How do I feel about that?
I like that. Yeah. I think that's such a good reset too. Yeah. Is to also just check in because again, we say those things, but then it always come back to what is that thing that's always reminding us that we need to keep going. Yeah. That we've committed this thing, these promises to ourselves, and we truly want to see them be accomplished. So can we check in and say, am I keeping up with this? Have I consistently done this for at least a week, 2 weeks at that point in time? Let's see how that happens. Yeah. I appreciate you for sharing that.
Yeah, because it's just, you just get to the point where just like, okay, what's going on here? What are we doing here? is this really where we wanted to be? Like, okay, let's just take a pause, and just be like, okay, take a breath. Really, is really what it is.
Absolutely. Just be still, be in that moment, check in, reassess, grow. What do you want to grow? How do you want to grow? Yeah, there's just so much to kind of do in that space.
Do you feel like also the now what kind of correlates to what's going on just from a social media standpoint, like politically, all the craziness going on right now too?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. I feel like it is just so important now than ever to check in with ourselves and to check in with others externally.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because not everyone knows how to take in what's going on, and some people are also dealing with it by an absence of wanting to know what is going on. And that also means that yes, there is that it could be pressure of, well, I don't need to know, so it's not bothering me. But I don't need to know, because if I know, then I'm going to be so distraught, um I'm going to be so saddened or hurt, or some way negatively affected by all that's going on. But I think that now what actions can we take just as humans in our small world, in our big worlds too, because many of us play important roles out there in other people's lives, in our own lives, in our families. So that now what becomes how to be, I would say, a person of protection, a person of understanding, a person of compassion, a person of neutrality, is like not really taking sides, and just be there for the basic part of, I want to be a better human being, and how can I allow other people to live a free life, and to live a life with availability to just be a human with either simple or basic joy of what makes them happy. How can I make that possible for someone else?
Yeah, I think that's important too. We should definitely be checking up on our loved ones and our friends and everything.
Definitely. Yeah. Just what's going on in the world right now just makes me very sad, and I feel numb on many instances, because I feel my hands to contribute and to make a difference is so far from what can be done. And it's aggravating and it's frustrating, because that's not the world that many of us want to see. And that's not the world that many of us want to live in. And it's, what can we really do when we feel like we have very little say or very little opinion that does matter truly to create and to cause an impact?
Yeah, it does feel like some of that stuff can be out of reach, because there's so much we want to do to help. There's so much we want to bring awareness, so many issues that we want to address and to really have that like advocacy for.
Absolutely.
So
much heartbreak. Heart, not just from the space of a romantic life, of course, but just what we see happening in the world, and the fact that we can't really do much about it. So there's always something to do. So whether it is personal, from your family's life, from your work life, from your community life, from a global standpoint, now what is your now what? What are you going to go out there and chase after and redefine and rediscover progress and approach and love to? What will that be for you?
Yeah, definitely just take a step back and reflect on that with us. Like, we are really here trying to bring awareness to these topics, and hope that you all and our listeners and audience, and obviously if there's someone out there that you feel like would really be that benefit from the topics that we talk about, especially in this episode, and you're like, I know that person is going through something, like, hey, like, listen to this, like, let's get together and talk about this and brainstorm ideas on how we can uplift each other up too.
That's so important.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you guys for listening to this episode. Thank you so very much for being a part of our community, and for being a part of what Uzo and I has in our heart to share with you. We are so grateful and committed to what we have been able to discover on our own, and what we continue to discover, and what we want to share with you. So thanks for listening. Don't forget to listen on Spotify, on Amazon Music, and look at YouTube for this video as well. Please do share it to somebody else. Follow us on Instagram as well. Go back to that initial note from the very first episode. That means that you're looking at us again. yet to find what those handles are. So thank you so very much. We appreciate you.
Yes. Thank you all again for such a great episode. We're looking forward to catching you all on the next one.
Yes. Until then.
Until then.
Take care.